What if mastering the art of communication could unlock doors to opportunities and deepen your relationships? In How to Talk to Anyone, 92 Little Tricks for Big Success in Relationships, Leil Lowndes offers practical, actionable strategies to connect with others, exude confidence, and build meaningful connections in every area of life. This is the story of how I applied these techniques to transform my interactions, build a network of authentic relationships, and embrace a newfound confidence that reshaped my personal and professional life. Each chapter of Lowndes' book became a stepping stone toward better understanding and stronger connections. Lowndes emphasizes that first impressions are crucial and often set the tone for future interactions. She introduces simple yet powerful techniques, such as maintaining an open posture, smiling genuinely, and making purposeful eye contact to create an inviting presence. These subtle adjustments can leave a lasting impact, making others feel at ease and drawn to you. I began paying more attention to my body language and the energy I projected when meeting someone new. By practicing techniques like the sticky eyes method, holding eye contact just a second longer, I noticed an immediate improvement in how others responded to me. People seemed more engaged, and conversations flowed more naturally. Adding a warm smile and a firm handshake further enhanced these initial connections, making them feel meaningful from the start. This chapter taught me that small adjustments in how I present myself can make a big difference in how I'm perceived. By mastering first impressions, I could set the stage for more meaningful connections and create a sense of trust and openness with new acquaintances. Lowndes explains that small talk is not meaningless chatter but a gateway to deeper conversations. She offers practical tips, like focusing on open-ended questions, showing genuine curiosity, and using compliments to break the ice. Small talk, she argues, is the bridge that leads to rapport and meaningful dialogue. I started approaching small talk with a newfound sense of purpose. Instead of dreading it, I viewed it as an opportunity to learn about others and find common ground. Simple phrases like, "That's interesting, tell me more," helped me steer conversations in engaging directions. Lowndes' strategies turned mundane exchanges into moments of connection. Over time, I noticed how this shift allowed me to build trust and camaraderie with colleagues, acquaintances, and even strangers. This chapter reminded me that small talk is an essential skill. By practicing curiosity and attentiveness, I could transform surface-level interactions into opportunities for deeper understanding, making every conversation a stepping stone to greater connection. Building rapport is about creating a sense of familiarity and trust quickly. Lowndes introduces techniques like mirroring body language, using the Me Too principle to find shared experiences, and matching the other person's energy to establish a connection. These tools, when applied thoughtfully, can make interactions feel natural and meaningful. I began experimenting with these techniques in my daily interactions. Whether it was subtly mirroring someone's posture or finding common interests during a conversation, these small adjustments made a noticeable difference in how quickly people warmed up to me. The Me Too principle, in particular, was a game-changer for finding common ground. Sharing even small similarities, like a love for a certain book or a favorite hobby, created instant connections. This chapter taught me that rapport is built through empathy and alignment. By tuning into others and creating a sense of connection, I could build trust and camaraderie quickly, paving the way for deeper and more authentic relationships. Lowndes emphasizes the importance of keeping conversations engaging and dynamic. She suggests techniques like using anchor phrases to tie back to previous topics, asking follow-up questions, and sharing stories to keep the dialogue flowing naturally. Good conversation, she explains, is about balance, listening actively while contributing meaningfully. I started using anchor phrases like, "Earlier, you mentioned," to show that I was paying attention and to keep conversations cohesive. This technique, combined with genuine interest and storytelling, turned previously awkward pauses into opportunities for deeper engagement. Conversations felt more fluid and enjoyable for both parties. I also practiced finding subtle ways to transition between topics, keeping the dialogue fresh and engaging. This chapter reminded me that good conversations are a dance. By being an active and attentive participant, I could keep the rhythm going and create memorable interactions that left both sides feeling enriched. Nonverbal cues often speak louder than words. Lowndes explains how to use gestures, facial expressions, and tone of voice to reinforce your message and convey authenticity. She also highlights the importance of observing others' nonverbal signals to understand their feelings and adjust your approach accordingly. I began paying closer attention to my tone, posture, and gestures during conversations. Smiling more, nodding affirmatively, and using open gestures made me appear more approachable and engaged. Simultaneously, I became more attuned to others' body language, which helped me gauge their comfort and interest. By learning to interpret subtle cues like crossed arms or fidgeting, I could adapt my approach and make others feel more at ease. This chapter taught me that communication is a two-way street, with nonverbal cues playing a critical role. By mastering both sending and receiving signals, I could communicate more effectively and empathetically, creating deeper connections even without words. Lowndes explains that sincere compliments and specific praise can create lasting impressions and build goodwill. She advises focusing on unique qualities or achievements to make your words more meaningful and memorable. Compliments, when delivered thoughtfully, can brighten someone's day and strengthen relationships. I started giving more thoughtful compliments, highlighting specific traits or actions that stood out to me. Instead of generic praise, I would say things like, "I really admire how organized you are. It's inspiring." The positive reactions I received reinforced how impactful a well-placed compliment could be in building rapport and trust. Over time, I noticed how these moments of affirmation created a positive ripple effect in my relationships. This chapter reminded me that words have power. By using them thoughtfully, I could uplift others, foster goodwill, and strengthen my relationships in meaningful ways. Not all interactions are easy. Lowndes provides strategies for navigating challenging conversations with grace and tact. She suggests using I statements to express feelings, staying calm under pressure, and finding common ground to defuse tension. These techniques make even the most difficult discussions more constructive and less confrontational. I applied these techniques during a recent disagreement with a colleague. By focusing on I statements, like I feel concerned about, instead of assigning blame, I was able to express my perspective without escalating the conflict. Staying calm and open to feedback allowed us to find a resolution that felt fair to both sides. The conversation ended on a positive note, with both of us feeling heard and understood. This chapter taught me that difficult conversations don't have to be confrontational. By approaching them with empathy and clarity, I could turn potential conflicts into opportunities for resolution and understanding, strengthening relationships even in challenging circumstances. Building relationships is one thing. Sustaining them is another. Lowndes emphasizes the importance of staying in touch, showing appreciation, and celebrating milestones to nurture long-term connections. Consistency, she explains, is the key to keeping relationships vibrant and meaningful. I started making a conscious effort to check in with friends and colleagues regularly. Whether it was sending a quick message or remembering important dates, these small gestures helped strengthen my relationships. I also made it a habit to express gratitude, whether through a heartfelt thank you note or a simple, "I appreciate you" message. Lowndes' strategies reinforce the idea that relationships thrive on thoughtfulness and effort. This chapter reminded me that relationships require ongoing effort. By staying present and engaged, I could build a network of meaningful and enduring connections that enriched my life. How to talk to anyone taught me that communication is both an art and a skill. By applying Lowndes' techniques, I transformed my interactions, built deeper connections, and gained confidence in navigating social situations. How can you start improving your communication skills today? Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to connect, grow, and make a lasting impression. With each interaction, you have the chance to strengthen bonds, share understanding, and leave a meaningful impact.